Let's look at how organisations search for innovation opportunities, particularly considering product and service development. And we're going to focus in on the jobs to be done approach. My name's Dr. Bill Russell, and following 27 years of commercial experience in a range of international environments, I've worked at the University of Exeter for 9 years. I research and advise organisations on product development and innovation more broadly, and I write and I teach about this subject. Now, when it comes to the development of new products and services, organisations are trying to develop their offering to the world. They want to offer a unique benefit for their customers. They want to demonstrate a perceived quality above that of their competitors. They want to demonstrate that they are superior to their competitors in a way that differentiates them. A great area where they try to demonstrate difference is in terms of the reduced life cycle cost to a customer, for example. But in essence, they want to solve a customer's problem better than anybody else. So, in terms of this jobs to be done approach, let's bring it to life a little, considering how food is preserved in different environments. Now we've got a rather disgusting picture here of a rotten sandwich, literally. None of us really want to eat that type of food. It hasn't been preserved properly. Now we know that salt has been used for many centuries, if not millennia, to look after food. But what is less understood is the story from this picture with the horse and the ice lake. This is an ice lake in the northeast of the US in the 1860s. And at that time, the export of ice was the US's second biggest export. And they exported their ice far and wide. We have a picture of a warehouse in Colombo in Sri Lanka. Now, ice was outmoded by the widespread distribution of the refrigerator, and we have a picture of an early example here, superseded by this advanced fridge freezer, complete with computer control. But it's not always about advancing technology, and we have a picture here of the famous Chitacool cooling device, widespread in India, which keeps food safe and chilled at a very low cost throughout the subcontinent. So when we look at jobs to be done, we're looking at what our customers are trying to achieve. What needs are they trying to satisfy? We want to get into the problems that they're trying to solve, because they value something and they want to get that job done, and they want to get that job done better than they currently do. Now, when looking at jobs to be done, it's important to remember that it's the perspective of the customer or user which really matters. And it's terribly important that we don't make assumptions based on our view of the world in terms of what's important. So in terms of customer jobs, they break down under 4 main headings. The one at the top here, functional jobs, is what product development has tended to be about. How do we solve a practical problem for our customers? It's very often quite two-dimensional. But increasingly, product developers know that they need to solve social jobs for their customers. For example, how do people build their reputation or their status? There's also the important part of emotional jobs. How do we make people feel good as a result of buying our product? Connected with these particular jobs, functional, social, and emotional, we've got supporting jobs such as communication. And if we look at the growth of the internet and Bluetooth over the last 20 years, it's in these areas where communication has improved enormously. Now, there are also pain points, the problems that our customers are trying to solve. They might be trying to get over some negative emotions, some frustrations that they have with how they solve a problem at the moment. It could be that there are costs in time or in money, which is making the customer frustrated and annoyed. If we could lower the cost or lower the time commitment, we are offering something useful. If we can take down the feeling of uncertainty and risk involved in any decision or any action, that's also going to go down well with the customers. And these risks can be technical, they can be social, and they can be financial as well. Because if we can offer gains to overcome these pain points, we're going to be developing and offering an interesting proposition. So when it comes to customer gains, we're trying to look at the things that are going to help customers and users to solve their jobs, to get their jobs done. And there might well be just a minimum level that they are looking for. But maybe we can look for improvements, the nice to haves, maybe even the nice surprises, the unexpected. Now, in terms of customer pain relief, anything which stops the job getting done or annoys them or getting in the way, that is the pain that we're trying to remove. So customers value the pain relief which makes the job easier or takes the job away completely. So in terms of pain relief, if we can shorten a queue, take away unnecessary actions, or simplify complexity, we've usually delivered against some jobs that require attention. Now, the jobs to be done method is brought to life by a great quote from Professor Theodore Levitt from Harvard. He said about 50 years ago, people don't want to buy a 1/4-inch drill. What they actually want to buy is a 1/4-inch hole. Well, I would contest that. What they actually want is outcomes. They don't want holes, they want pictures on walls, they want shelves, they want a tidy life. They want their bathroom to feel relaxing and tranquil. Jobs to be done focuses on this type of outcome. Now, context affects the job to be done. And let's look at the world of milkshakes. A famous researcher and promoter of the jobs to be done approach was Clay Christensen, also from Harvard. And he did some research at a Burger King outlet on the edge of LA. And he went there at 7 o'clock in the morning and asked people, why are you buying a milkshake? And the answer came back in the main that milkshakes were being bought by people who were heading into LA and getting ready to sit in a traffic jam. They knew that they were going to be bored and frustrated, and the milkshake was going to give them something to think about, some diversion, something to schloss about their mouth. Now, he asked the same question later in the day, particularly around 3 and 4 o'clock, and he asked those questions to parents who were there at the Burger King outlet with their children. People were still buying milkshakes, but the job to be done was different. It was to distract the child so that they could play with their friends, so that the adults could step back, relax, and catch up on the gossip with their friends, the other parents. The same product, but a very different job to be done. So when we're trying to create success as we develop our products and services, we want to see what customers want less of. They want less effort, cost. What do they want more of? Quality, reputation, status. Another important area is balance. They maybe want to reduce their worries and increase wellness all at the same time. So to summarize the jobs to be done approach, let's remember, people and organizations buy products and services to get jobs done. Through identifying high priority jobs to be done, an organization can link their value creation activities to what the customer wants and we can measure success as well. Now, as we can see here in green, what we're really trying to do is to identify important but poorly served problems, because that's where there'll be less competition. And while we might identify unimportant and overserved jobs and outcomes, we want to avoid those to go into solution spaces where there's less competition. Now, the jobs to be done approach develops a broader solution space with more opportunities for innovation, because it focuses on outcomes rather than demographic profiles. And this is powerful. With demographic profiles, we might be targeting women aged between 25 and 30. However, they might have gender in common, they might have their age in common, but they aren't necessarily interested in the same things. Jobs to be done helps us to segment opportunities. Now, the approach works in both business to consumer, B2C markets, and B2B, business to business markets. And this is really important. Even in the US, that high profile consumer society, the B2B economy is actually 60% bigger than the B2C economy. So solving problems in that B2B space really matters. All problems have a social, emotional and functional element. And if you're practicing jobs to be done effectively through taking this approach, you can solve those problems and get the jump on your competitors.